Hey everybody, I'm back in California. Been back for about a week now. It's 85 degrees, which is really nice. It's even in February. But after spending 5 weeks in the Portland area where it was in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and maybe up to the 50s, this feels fantastic. So today I'm doing downtown stuff, and I figure I'd take you with me because we're gonna have a bunch of greeting cards sold all over pretty soon. So the agenda for today is I just went to the bank, and then now I'm going to talk to a few people who are going to carry cards and go get the estimate for the cards. Cards are a really cool thing, but the economics of cards is kind of weird because sometimes production costs, because they make really cool custom ones, kind of shift. So before I can give accurate quotes, I have to make sure everything works out. I didn't know if I wanted to do daily vlogging. Not daily, I can't do daily, or even vlogging. I don't know. You know, this whole idea is experiment, kind of see where we're gonna go. But this is the downtown I grew up with, and it's changed more in the last few years than it feels like in the last previous 20. So stop one is the flower stop. All right, stop number one, my contact happened to step out. So now I go to stop number 2. So the way I make cards is I generally, before I do a run, I find 3 or 4 vendors who are ready to carry them. And we had one here, she just wasn't in. And then one more expressed interest. And I just gotta pop in and see what they're ready to do. Generally with my philosophy with cards is also to really get something you can justify selling. You have to do something different. So I don't really do like club cards for sale anyway. These will be like printed on a felt paper. They're gonna look really nice. And something I've also learned selling cards is that trying to sell one card at a time, like in a retail situation, is really tough. People won't do it. They'll be really hesitant to spend $1 on a postcard, but they will spend $10 on a pack of 10. It's all sealed up and it's kind of nice, and you get variety. So these will be packs of 4, but they'll come with envelopes, and they'll be folding cards, and they're on a nice paper. You'll also be able to order them online, dononeal.com. These are going to be I Love Riverside cards, and the plan right now is 4 of the Mission Inn, but I may change it to 2 of the Mission Inn, 1 of the County Courthouse, and 1 of the Fox Theater, depending on what people want. This is kind of fun. Another thing I'm doing this for is I want to test this GoPro to get better at it, especially for this. And this is a GoPro Hero 8. No media mod. I am not mic'd up at all. So these should see how that all sounds. Hopefully this sounds good. So this next place, I probably pronounced wrong, but I think it's called Peep. And this place, it's a cool store. They sell succulents. I don't know if they're open. They are open, but this is where I'm gonna go. All right, one store, another store on board. Spoke with the owners. I haven't seen them in a long time. I used to live downtown, so this was all my territory. And now I like never come down here. Like once a month, not even once a month, maybe once every 3-4 months now. No, so I was kind of talking about economics of cards. If you're selling cards, they kind of have to be a little different than the kind of cards people would give away. People generally give away these mass-produced cards that are made in batches of 5 to 10,000. I make small batch cards, but I do them on special paper. And there's a few things that you can do if you're like trying to make your own art cards that kind of like distinguish it. But the big thing is how they're produced. I work with local printers, and that's my next stop is the printer. And the thing about the printers is if you can get on like different paper and you can print it economically, whereas things are printed on a sheet and it all kind of adds up to get the most cards on the nicest paper and nice envelopes. It really kind of distinguishes your product from something that people wouldn't spend money on. It costs you more, but it's nicer. And I'm also big on, this is something I learned, how you package them. Packaging is everything. I try to do it where the package answers every possible question. So, oh, thank you. The package should answer every question, including price, including your website, including what they get in the pack, what they get, everything. So people don't have to open them up. That's really important. But generally, and I'm finding this to be true everywhere I go, that selling individual cards is always worse, consistently worse. People buy a packaged, they'll justify $10 on a packaged set. They won't spend $1 per card. It's something I've seen over and over. Plus, it's a lot easier for you to handle. And the big thing about cards is that while I do sell individual cards and do sell cards online, probably 90% of the cards that like I produce and sell go straight to stores who buy, you know, bulk. And that's kind of key, is have a product that you can actually bulk produce and bulk sell and bulk market. Issues with cards, especially bulk cards, are if you're trying to sell these puppies online, like I do small batches, and online I can only justify full retail and not any kind of wholesale, because shipping can eat you alive really fast. If you're shipping, you know, a box of hundreds of cards, it could cost you, you know, a good fair bit of your margin just because it's heavy. And that's why I really think the most value added is by getting the most cards per pack. Check this out, a donut bar. Fire on Grill. Downtown changes so much. It's different now than it was when I lived here. I lived here, it's specifically in downtown, 2011 to 2013, which was like peak recession years, where you would have never seen all these people walking around. I mean, there's people walking around, but now there's living in downtown. They're building like nice tall apartment buildings. So this is the Loft Apartments, Main and 9th. If you ask me, for a downtown place, that building should have been at least twice as tall. They should be trying to go after volume. There should be thousands of people living down here. But it's going to change the business climate when you have customers. No customers, no business. So, onward to the print shop. All right, went to the printer. Now, for folks looking to reproduce your own art, especially as anything that's like a commodity item, it's important to get accurate pricing. And stuff changes in price. And paper is evidently one that is like notorious for just randomly going up, probably more than like almost any other like major commodity. I don't think paper, especially like processed paper, declines in price a whole lot. I'm not saying it never does, I'm just saying like the trend is it doesn't. Now the cards I'm making are my grandfather's work, and they're all going to be downtown Mission Inn cards, which I think will turn out very well because we are in downtown. But I'm thinking we're gonna do 4 cards of the Mission Inn, or maybe 3 Mission Inn, 1 Fox Theater. I want to see what the customer wants to do for their bulk first. But places you will be able to find them, they should be for sale at actually Urge Palette right here. Another cool business if you like art supplies. This is the good one to get for downtown. They got really good stuff. I come for their pens because a lot of their pens are really good. They got these Japanese imported ones I need to practice with. But they're going to sell them there. They're going to sell them at Peep, as I mentioned earlier. They're probably going to sell them at Pip. Pip and Peep, that's going to be hard to get right. And the nature of things will have them as well. But I don't know if they're doing packaged cards. In fact, usually they don't, because they give their cards if you get a bouquet. So if you get a bouquet, the nature of things with a card added to it, it'll be one of mine. So it's gonna be really cool because it's all kind of like downtown themed. So that's where I'm going now. All right, so talked to my buyer, got them on board. So this is kind of like really cool. So my strategy is find enough buyers to justify the production run before the production run has to go into production, which should make sense, but it's a mistake that a lot of folks don't do. Let's see if this car's gonna hit me. Let's see if this car's gonna hit me. Oh, they're not gonna hit me, they're not gonna hit me, they're not gonna hit me. But from this production run, generally what I do is I have it to where there's enough covered to where then I then have a large volume about. So we're aiming at 3 spots downtown Riverside, which will have these within a week. Now, the other thing with these cards is how I use them is that these cards push future G-Clay print sales. So I figure for so many cards that people get, eventually someone buys a G-Clay print, and that's really where, you know, selling art reproductions, that's where you make the money. So these are kind of like, they're not promotional because there's definitely like a nice product that's worth money, but they also effectively work as an advertiser as well. So I want you to show you this. I see, I love these little exhibits. This is too cool. Too cool, Riverside. These are beautiful. Something I really think I like, one big change in society that I like is that everything's now photo perfect. Because people take pictures with it. People take pictures with these butterfly wings. I really like that. I definitely hope this remains here. And I also hope we see more stuff like this. It's a good way to promote your city. Think about it. People come and take pictures of it. So let's get that on there. It's really cool. It gets a thumbs up from me. So now that I have my 3 vendors secured, pricing secured for the production, I'm gonna get something to eat. So I need dinner, and there's a sushi place that should be open like either right now or within like 5-10 minutes. And then after that, I'm gonna head home. Fairly productive day in downtown. I don't come here as much as I used to. I really should at least twice a month, but it's more like once every 4 months. So I just hit my vendors, hit my producer, kind of made all that work. And I enjoyed some good sushi over at Cabin Sushi. Yeah, this vlogging is hard. The YouTubers make it look easy, like they have something to talk about. I thought I did, but I really don't. Oh, here's a cool one I can show you guys. So this right here, up there, is Bree Dance School. I actually took dance class lessons there when I was a kid, from like 92 to 95, somewhere around there. So I'd say it's probably the premier dance school in the area. And dancing wasn't really my thing, but one reason I'm glad I took it is just the idea of body movement I think is so important. And when it came to learning to do anything physical after that, it became a lot easier. So that's my typical downtown day. Not fairly eventful. I've had people ask me a lot of questions about selling art reproductions and how all that works. And I figured I'd kind of weasel that into these videos, and that was literally all I had to talk about today. I didn't really have a whole lot on my mind. I should have a video up soon. I've edited a couple times, and I didn't have this fancy GoPro, I just had my phone. But it's basically a walk around of a Sears here in Riverside that just went out of business. And it was like an iconic Sears because it was one of the biggest ones they built when they built it. And Sears is basically dead. And this Sears is a good example of a dead Sears. But it's kind of like my little time capsule video. I shot that in December. I wanted to wait a few months before I uploaded it. And Well, it's a few months, so I'm gonna upload it soon. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like that and you subscribe, I'll be motivated to make more. Leave a cool comment.